Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Decaf Coffee Republic, the Moment Certified Life Coaches here in the Philippines. And I'm very much back for our every Thursday coaching conversation. And this is Coaching for the Soul. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. We've been doing this for many years until the pandemic hits. And we tried doing this online, but we stopped for a while. But right now, right here, we're at Decaf Coffee Republic. We're very much live. That's not a can sound. Can you just give a clap to everyone? If you are joining us live right now, please put a comment in there. Yes, we did not promote this. We're coming in live and we're coming in a relaunch as a surprise to everyone. Magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And if you're watching this on a replay, I am Master Coach A. If you are joining me and seeing me for the first time, I am a life and a business coach, and I help individuals create impact, income, and influence through the platform of life coaching. And if you are one person who's believing that there's more to life and you want to ensure that you are mentally safe as you go through this transition, this a lot of chaos in the world today, I believe you're one person who wants to take a look at life coaching. So, welcome to my world. Welcome to our space. Welcome to our coaching hub. This is officially a coaching hub. And if you want, okay, if you are one person who's been certified in any other institute, you've been certified online, you're doing this right now without a certification, whatever it is, but you're coaching and you're looking for a community, you're looking for a space, you're looking for support, you're looking for someone to help you get started, get your feet on the ground, then Master Coach A at your service. And just in case you haven't visited our Life Coach Philippines website or our FB page, please check it on. And right now, we're launching a, turnkey solution for every life coach who dreams of having their own coaching school. So if you are one person and you want to build your dream coaching school, then I have a turnkey solution for you. And if also you haven't heard, again, you are meeting me for the first time, I am a CPD accredited service provider. My accreditations came from UK CPD Group, the #1 CPD accreditation company in UK. And therefore, this turnkey solution that I'm offering and sharing with everyone is, with CPD accreditation. So magandang gabi po sa inyong lahat. And let me know in the chat box if you are one person who wants to help at least one person in the world. Meron ba kayong ganun? That's a question. You're one person who wants to help at least one person, aside from me, myself, and I? Yes? And you're quiet. That's not a trick question. That's a real question. Come on, guys. Guys, it's a real question. Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna tell you who's on floor, okay? But I've got celebrity on floor. Yeah, real celebrity on floor. All right. So I'm not really sure if you can see this, but you can see this sticker. Okay, the creator of this is on floor. All right, he's here. Okay, with a brother. Okay, with a handsome brother, by the way. So yeah, and we've been talking about relationship. Okay, but my conversation for you tonight is not about relationship. By the way, Coaching for the Soul is a weekly conversation, coaching conversations that aim to strengthen the inner core. Okay, nowadays there's a lot of things that's happening in the world, and oftentimes we questions, ano nang nangyari sa kaluluwa ko? You know, have you ever asked that? Ano nang nangyari sa kaluluwa ko? I mean, you go hustle and bustles and you're all over the place. You probably is making a lot of money. You probably is making a lot of beautiful relationship left and right. Or maybe your business is flourishing and you don't even have to be in your business. But at the end of the day, let me ask you a question. What happened to your soul? How are you doing? Seriously, how's life? Seriously, how's life? How are you responding to life's challenges? And after the aftermath, when you go through difficulties, when you go through challenges, when you go through a lot of, nerve-pushing activities in your life, what happened to your soul? Who you become at the end of the process is the most important thing. And for tonight's conversations, I wanna dive into something that is very close to my heart. Okay, for those of you who feels like Zoe, that's relationship with the Lord and God, I don't want that. Hey, listen, I'm not gonna be talking about religion tonight, but yes, I'm a Christian. I don't belong to any church denomination, but I am not a backslider. Okay, I believe in Christ, I believe in Jesus, I believe in the Holy Trinity, I believe in everything that you believe that is true about God. I believe in the Bible, but that's not my conversation. But, all right, one thing that I want to speak with you tonight specifically is you being a tent maker. Yeah, tent maker. What comes to your mind when you hear the word tent maker? That's not the 3 questions, by the way, so answer me. Okay? So, you probably think, is that a 3 question? It's not a 3 question. Come on, what is a tent maker? Hindi po yung tagagawa ng tent, na may tolda pagpatay, araw ng patay. No, that's what I'm talking. What comes to your mind? Come on, when you hear the word tent making and tent maker. Ministry. Okay, Master Coach's Min is here, by the way. Okay. Did you hear that? That's Coach Candy Teng, camping.
Coach Candy Teng. Send ko lang po yung ibang tao na
Camping. Camping. Yes, Coach Maureen, ano sa'yo? Supporter? Financer, parang gusto ko yon. Financer. Oh, kayo. Ay, pwede po mag-participate. Wala pong bayad. Kape-kape lang.
Oh, tinaman nila.
Yeah, what comes to your mind when you hear the word tent maker? Coach Gay.
The circus was in the tent before.
The circus was in the tent before. Beautiful. See, same? Yung iba tolda sa patay, pag araw ng patay, di ba you put the tent? Sa circus may tent, kayo po, copy and paste, camping. Come on.
Ministry.
Sa kanya ministry, okay, what is really a tent? But have you ever heard of that? If you're watching online and you're connecting or probably watching this on a replay, have you ever heard of people saying, she's a tent maker, he's a tent maker, or maybe you have heard Paul, the disciple, is a tent maker. Have you heard of that? Yeah? Yeah, kind of? So, okay, so what's a tent maker and why I'm gonna talk about it? Because here's the thing, okay? How many of you, okay, let's park Paul for a moment. How many of you here heard of people's stories, maybe not your story, but people you know, who've been working in the corporate world for quite a long time, and then they get burned out and they resign? Yeah, and they just want to live a quiet life.
Yes.
Yeah, come on. Give me some yes. Give me some connecting. Yeah, okay. So that's a real live. By the way, we're live at Decaf Coffee Republic page if you want to watch on a replay. We've been doing coaching conversations really before pandemic, real live on floor, okay, and yeah, that's live. Can you hear that? Okay, and and also online. So, how many of you heard of people wanting to quit the world, the things that they do for the world, on the world right now, and they say, you know what, I want to do what God have called me to do, and they go isolation and do, okay, I will just do ministry, I will just do charitable works, I will just do that. How many of you have heard of those people? Yeah, and they don't want to go back to making money, and they feel that making money after corporate world or making money is not really, not really a very Christian-like thing to do. How many of you have heard of that?
Yeah. Yes.
Crickets, hello?
Pag nag-business daw po, hindi daw po siya ministry.
Okay, but there's such a thing as kingdom business.
Yes.
Jesus was a carpenter. Yeah. Yeah. Paul was a leather maker. Yeah. So how many of you here met people who feels that, being a Christian or following the will of God or the calling of the Lord, you have to get out of what you do for a living and you're not supposed to be making money? How many of you here have the idea that if it's a helping industry or, want to help people, you're not supposed to be charging? Come on. Narinig nyo na ba yun?
Yes, opo. At Monetize kilala.
Narinig nyo na ba yun? Na kapag tumutulong ka, bakit ka naniningil?
Hindi daw dapat.
Yes.
Yeah? Okay, let me put some context on that, sir. Meron bang negosyo na hindi tumutulong sa tao? Legit na negosyo, ah. I have an accountant on floor, by the way, so I'm asking him. Is there a business that does not help people?
Kasi mga business kasi fulfills needs.
Mostly may value eh. Kaya siya may business kasi may value sa...
And if there's value, you're right. If there's value, it helps people, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's all connected to people.
It's connected with people. Okay, so any business, correct me if I'm wrong, my belief is that any business, okay, that you create is intended to create a value or to solve a problem. And if you have created a value and you created a solution to a particular problem, it goes to say you're helping people, right?
Yeah.
Okay, is that something like, do I make sense if I say every business is a helping business in one form or another? And does it make it wrong for a business to make money?
No.
Exactly. So why in the world, whenever we say, I'm doing the will of God, okay, it feels like you're out of business? Or if it's a helping industry, you're not supposed to be charging. Saan daw galing na mental model? Why I'm diving on this conversation is this, okay? Right now, globally, we are facing what they call, okay, or what they term, it started actually late last year, they call it the Great Resignation. How many of you have heard of such a thing as Great Resignation? Okay, so they say that, based on studies and research, we are going through a season in history where we are seeing great resignations left and right. Okay, people are resigning from work. Either they're burnt out, they're sick, they're tired, and they quit. Or they're being laid off because the company can no longer support them. Or by choice, they want to stay with their family, recover, and help their family get through the season of pandemic, and they're safe at home. Okay, whatever is the reasons, countless of reasons, we are going through the season and the moment in history where we are facing the greatest resignation. And in my mind, the way I look at it is this: the greatest commission of reaching out to the people, making disciple, talking about God versus the greatest resignations. Where do we play? Now, whether you are a Christian, whether you're a believer of Christ or not, I want to put in the table here that you are a talented person. Can we all agree that there is a talent in you? All of you, across the room. Yeah, there's a talent. There's a parable of talent in the Bible that speaks of whatever you receive, you use it, and if you don't use that, you lose it. Okay? So I'm not diving into the parable, but what I'm saying is, have you ever thought what you're supposed to be doing with your talent? Are you supposed to keep it? Are you supposed to use it? Are you supposed to help people with it? Come on. What do you do with your talent?
Use it.
Use it. Okay.
Monetize it.
Okay. Is it wrong to monetize your talent?
No.
Is it wrong to make money out of your skills?
No. Companies pay for it.
Exactly. Now, putting into context, putting it out, I'm gonna put it in the same plate right now. Okay. Every business, okay, agree with me, let me know if you are in agreement. And if you are not in agreement, you can speak, by the way. Okay, it's okay. This is a free flow conversation. When you have a business, you operate a business, the business is actually a pool of talented people.
Yeah.
Am I correct? Okay, so there's a business. I'm a business owner. I have 4 businesses right now. And all of the businesses I'm running, I'm able to pull talents, multiple talents. And the business is working because there are multiple talents in there. Okay, and that talents we're able to monetize. As a business owner, we pay the people for the talents they used to do the business and to run the business. Therefore, if that person get out of the business and that person goes solo and that person do the business on their own or go a freelance, however you call it, solopreneur, okay, knowledge entrepreneur, is it wrong? Is it wrong to by this time to get paid for what you offer in the world?
No.
It's not. It's not. All right. So, bottom line, okay. You've got talents, we got talents here, we got skills, we got gifts, and it's okay to monetize it. And am I correct? Am I correct? Okay. So what is it really to be a tent maker? Okay. In a world, okay, in the Christian world, they talk about tent maker as intended for mature Christian. They say that, okay? I read that, okay? So I'm piggyback, okay? I'm doing a piggyback conversation on what is published, okay, in worldwidetentmakers.com, okay? So just after the conversation, you want to check on this, you can visit www.worldwidetentmakers.com, okay? Just so you have a context to what I'm saying, okay? So this blog talks about what is a tent maker, and he said, okay, more people than ever are discussing the topic of tent making, and so the question of what is a tent maker. Okay, so since this is a piggyback conversation, let me just read it exactly. He said, we use the Apostle Paul as an example. He and his co-laborers Priscilla and Aquila, made tents. okay, while pursuing their primary goal of spreading the gospel. And what does it mean? They have works, they do works while they spread the word of God. And it is unfortunate that today, many people are going on the directions of doing the will of God, serving God, and leaving the work that pays. We have this, I want to speak to you about this because we kind of have, because of our experiences in the corporate world, we paint a negative picture of what work is and what business is and what money making is, which I believe is not fair. I believe it's not fair. Right? I'm a business owner. I am just one of the countless of thousands and millions of business owners you can name. And yeah, not all businesses are created equal. There are businesses that, not really good with their people, but truth of the matter, work is good. Can I have an amen? Can I say yes? Can I have yes on that? Work is good.
Yes.
Work is good. Okay? Work is good. A tent maker is a person who's dedicated, okay, to do the works. To do the works for the kingdom. And I would say, each and every one of us is doing a work for a certain kingdom. You just don't know who's the kingdom. Let me repeat that. We do the works for the kingdom, but the question is, to what kingdom do you do the works?
Yeah.
Yeah, we all do works, come on now. And whether you like it or not, whether you see it or not, whether you accept it or not, you're doing a work for a kingdom.
Yeah.
So my question to you, the works that you do today, you're doing it for what kingdom? For what kingdom? Okay? A tent maker can be employed within a company. So it doesn't mean that you're inside the company, you're not a tent maker. A tent maker is a teacher. Teach in an educational institution. A tent maker work inside the government. So even if you're in government, you can be a tent maker. And here's the thing. You can own or just run a business. So it means you can own a business like this, or you can just run your own business like being a large entrepreneur, that you just employ yourself. That's not what separates a tent maker and not. But oftentimes, people think that if you do this kind of work, certain work, okay, you are no longer a tent maker, or you're disobeying, or you're a disgrace in the Christian world, or you're a disgrace in the kingdom. I would like to point in here that you and I are all talented individuals. And to me, it is a sin if you don't use your talent to serve the people. And I would rather say as well that to make money and to monetize our talents is not a sin. What do you think? Come on. Can I hear some words in there? What do you think? Tahimik si Sir. Okay lang tayo. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, what do you think?
We monetize our talent.
Yeah, you monetize your talent. And it's not wrong. It's not wrong. Okay? And this is why I'm making this conversation is because of mental health of people. Okay? When you're burnt out and you get so tired in the corporate world and you feel that you miss a lot of times with your children and you want to recover, oftentimes the default is, all right, I'm going to get out from work, do nothing, just pray, meditate, do the journal, and take care of my children, take care of the home. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying it's wrong. What I'm saying is, what is our healthy view about work and the way we do work and the way we monetize our talent? That's where I'm diving in right now, because we all have different callings, and oftentimes we hurt the people who do their calling simply because their calling is different from our calling. Yeah. Are you more godly because you can do the service inside the church? Thank you so much for that. Okay. Well, actually, I just fill in the blanks. They continue that. Okay. So, I don't know if you heard that. So, that's not me. Yan. Okay. That's just like, okay. I invite you every Thursday. Come over. Let's have a conversation.
Yeah, real conversation.
Real conversations. What do you think, Coach Gabe?
Yes.
Yeah. There's a gift. There's a gift. And I want to speak for people. I've been in the corporate world. Don't get me wrong. Okay. And yeah, maybe not all companies were good to me, but I appreciate all my boss and I appreciate the pay. I appreciate the benefits, okay? To all my bosses and to all the companies I serve, kudos to you. You helped me where I am today. Yeah. And I will always honor you. I will always honor you. I'm grateful. I am where I am here because there are a lot of companies who helped me learn what I'm learning today. But it doesn't make me a lesser person to do business today. And it doesn't make me a lesser Christian because I do my passion. I'm teaching Passion to Profit, by the way, and you can join my class on the 19th of February. Okay, that's 7:30 in the evening. And normally that class is paid. But yes, I already monetized that many years back, and I'm offering that for free. So I hope you can join me. That's online, by the way. You don't have to come to Decaf Coffee Republic. Just sign in, connect with our community managers, Coach Rizal, Coach Sean, Coach Teen, Master Coach Jasmine, and of course, the beautiful Coach Candy there. Yeah, she wants to hear that. She's beautiful, by the way. All right, so what are your thoughts about monetizing your talents? Come on, talk to me. Or what were the consequences, or what were the things that you encountered when you start monetizing your talents? Like the way you are monetizing right now, outside of the world, outside of the corporate world, outside of the paid environment. Yan.
Hindi ko sasagot ako pang Christian. Hindi ko lang naman. Kasi di ba, Master, merong parable of the talents?
Yes.
Kailangan ginagamit mo yung talent.
Yeah.
Pero yung talent kasi, kailangan dinidikit mo siya sa dominion and fruitfulness na kinoltayo ni God na gawin. So pag hindi mo din siya ginagamit, technically you are still sinning against God. Na hindi mo ginagamit yung talents mo, na pwede siyang gawin sa'yo.
Yeah, because we were called to take dominions. And the way that we take dominions is to do what we are called to do. And what are we called to do? Use our talents. Use our talents. Yeah, because if you're not gonna use your talents, what is talent for? Truth of the matter. Yeah. But I wanna hear the conversations like, sir, hindi ko sasabihin pangalan mo, baka pumunta silang lahat dito, di ba? May celebrity kami to. What were the common response to people when you said, I'm quitting my regular work, which is lucrative, and I wanna do my passion. I wanna, put time to my talent.
Sasagot nila, sabi ko yun ang mga sagot nila, ay sana all, sana all.
Sana all.
Lahat sila sana all.
Sana all, okay. I like that. You must have a lot of savings to do that, or you might be so tapang to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Challenging at first.
You're crazy. Meron bang nagsabing crazy? Meron bang nakakatakot siyang gusto mo gawin?
Yes.
Yeah. Meron bang nagsabing, anong ginagawa mo sa buhay mo?
Parate.
Sinisira mo ba yung buhay mo? Paano pag nagnegosyo ka, nasisira mo yung buhay mo? Okay, so, let me just dive into what is the best thing that ever happens when you start doing what you love to do and get paid for that? Heaven. Now there's heaven on earth. Yeah, think about it. Yeah. Think about it. But why do we have this mindset? Maybe you can shed some light into this. You can type in the chat box. Where do we get this idea that if it's God's will, God's calling, it's always comfortable and it's just, ooh, everything is good. God will just provide. Let me just put that context, because God provides when we do the works of the kingdom. It means we do the works. We do the works. And the kingdom have different phases. There are people who serve the king. There are people who's in the kitchen cooking. There are people there in the kingdom who's out there fighting. They're soldiers. They're warriors. And they get their portion. Decaf Coffee Republic is built on the principle of Nehemiah. And we're rebuilding the walls. Okay? When we look at the way we're doing here, what we do in Decaf, that's over 6 years, we talk about rebuilding the walls. And the very reason why we're getting our provisions is because we're rebuilding something. And we're surviving because we're rebuilding something. So we're doing the works. And the works that we do is according to our talents, according to our skills, according to our strength. And there are also people coming in here and they do the works according to their strength. But oftentimes, I'll tell you the truth, many people look at us and, you're not in the church. You're not holding your Bible study group. Well, we do, okay? We just don't publicize it, but we do, all right? You don't do your quiet time. Yes, we do, a lot, by the way. You don't do the prayer and fasting. We do a lot, by the way. And, and we have shofar here, okay? So, wow! Coach W, it's not common thing or norm to most, so sometimes it's a deviation to the norms. But Coach W, is the deviation from the norms bad? That's not a trick question again, that's a real question. Is it bad to deviate? Yeah. Deviation could be uniqueness. innovation, reinvention. Okay? So, let's move into kailan nagiging mali ang pagninegosyo? Kailan nagiging mali ang paggamit ng talent? Yeah, let's just be open. Baka naman po meron.
When you're too greedy or
When you're too,
greedy.
what is greediness, by the way?
When you're serving the other kingdom,
When you're serving the other kingdom. Come on. Yeah, go ahead. What do you mean by greediness? I've written, by the way, something about the greedy algorithm. Okay, by the way, if you haven't checked on that, check it inside Coach A Coaching Community, the greedy algorithm. There's a greedy algorithm. Greedy algorithm speaks of you do things, okay, on the basis of present satisfaction. Okay, and you're not looking on the maximum or global scheme. That's greedy algorithm. Okay. Yeah, meron ulit. Okay, feels like I'm doing what I was designed to do when I do my passion and get monetized. Absolutely. Kakampi ko to sa passion to profit eh. Coach Weiser, we have a conversations coming up, okay? This 19th.
Passion project.
Passion project tayo ulit. Yeah, Coach Weiser is one person who responded to doing a passion project. And Coach W, you may want to share in the chat box to the people what you have done, accomplished so far because you said yes to your passion. Yeah. What's greediness, Coach? How have you seen, what's your picture of greediness?
When you ask so much more than what you should be asking,
Okay.
you go overboard.
You go overboard.
When you go overboard and you hurt people.
Okay.
Instead of
My thinking of that conversation when you say, when you said overboard and more than, I believe it becomes more than when there's no purpose for what you're asking for. Yeah. I believe it's more than when the intention or the motive is wrong. That's me. I want to hear your thoughts.
yes.
Male in the house. Yeah. I believe in male dominance, by the way. Yeah. Yeah, I do believe in that. Yeah. I'm one person who, I look very strong, but I believe in male dominance. Okay, you may not agree with me, Coach Gay, but I believe in male dominance. Yeah, honestly.
No, I'm sorry, I'm a male.
I love what you said.
I'm just pretending. I'm just in disguise, but I'm really a male.
Absolutely, perfectly. I love you, Coach Gay. That's why you're here. Okay, so yeah. I believe in male dominance. I believe that when I say male dominance, I believe that in terms of leadership, God have put, something in the man, something in the male hormones, in the design of man that, I believe in that. You may not agree with me, but I believe in that. Yeah. And I always love to submit to a male boss. Honestly, it kind of good thing for me if I report to a male boss. They're straight. Yeah, they're straight. When I say straight, like they're straight. They tell you, this is the objective, this is the numbers, right? Okay, and they're straight. Less emotion. Less emotion. I don't know if you agree with me, but I love male bosses. It's the male bosses who have a problem with me, but I don't have a problem with them.
Because you're also a male. Because maybe you're also a male.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, but yeah. It's them having a problem with me, but me, I don't have problems with them. Yeah, I don't have problems with men. I love working with men. I love to submit with men, but you better be a real man.
as in men, adult.
Not a boy. So that's Master Coach Jasmine speaking on the floor. That's Master Coach Jasmine. I told you there's another Master Coach here on the floor. That's Master Coach Jasmine. Yeah. So going back to our conversations, when it is wrong to use your talent in business, when it is wrong to monetize your talent, when? Yeah. When there's no purpose. Put it in the chat box, by the way, if you're joining me on a replay, and if you're joining here right now, there's another class being conducted right now with Coach Tin, and you might be with Coach Tin class and you're watching this as a replay. Don't worry, you can still catch up and put your comments in the chat box, or you can send me a private message for our private conversations, and that's could be cool. Okay, sir, your thoughts when it's wrong to monetize your talent?
About unfair exchange.
I love that. Okay, he's into accountancy. That's why he talks about
Not fair,
exchange.
not fair.
Okay, how do you know that it's fair?
It's not fair.
it's fair. Because he said it's supposed to be fair, right? It's wrong when it's not fair. So how do we know? Like, people are watching right now, sir. Like, let's put that. Kasi I would always say, there's science in what I do. Kahit mahirap.
That's interesting kasi kung accounting world yan.
Kung accounting world yan.
That will be fair market value. Like,
Fair market value.
Like, what is, ano ba talaga siya sa...
Nagdo-nosebleed na si Coach Candy, so ayusin natin mabuti to. Oo.
Sorry.
Let's not open that with my client. Okay.
On human... Sorry.
Tissue, please. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But I think as humans, nararamdaman natin what is fair and what is not. Like for example,
I love that.
you help somebody, then on a project, then for example, that somebody, yung talagang okay talaga, then you get just like 1% or 2% of that. Then with
In
that,
terms of revenue.
in terms of revenue,
Yeah.
you will know right away that's unfair. Parang ganun eh. Nalalaman niya ganun din yan as
When both sides are fair.
malalaman natin.
Nobody's being manipulated or exploited.
Yeah.
So ngayon, ang hirap kasi i-measure talaga what is fair.
Yes, I want to dive into that, sir. Kasi yun nga yung sasabihin ng mga tao, di ba? We have a clouded view of the world. We have a clouded view of what fair trade means. Kasi di ba dati nga, barter lang tayo, di ba? Akin na yung kalabaw, di ba? Ito yung produce, palit tayo. Or we've seen people barter on spices, di ba? They give you these spices, kailangan ng land ko tong spices ito, bigay mo sa akin, bigay ko sa iyo yung woods. Pwede naman yon. Pero paano yung clouded? And I think that's where many of us struggle. Paano siya titingnan? Kung let's put it really in algorithm or you put it really in numbers
Kasi
or
kung
in
ganun-
books.
Kung ganun kasi siya sa isang transaction, ang best practice talaga.
Best practice. Okay, I wanna
Sa
hear
una
that.
pa lang, nag-usap na kayo kung ano yung values that you are looking at to be clear in both parties. Para
Both of you agree that
you agree na kung what will happen at the end.
it's fair share.
Para sa
You agree on the measurement.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, kasi different ang values ng bawat isa eh. May
Maganda yun.
values eh. So maganda, i-discuss yun na kung anong value mo, anong value mo, and et cetera. And if this happens, this is the sharing, and that's really fair.
Okay. When the conversations get sour later on, it means whatever you agreed on you said the fair agreement or fair exchange, you agreed, okay, this is gonna be the value, this is gonna be how the conversions be. When the thing is kind of tainted, I would say
Yeah,
because again, iba na naman yan, but you feel that, this is no longer the
So
conversations.
there will be a problem with trust. And there will
Trust.
be a start, the start, yung tatak mo sa utak, will I be in a longer relationship with this person in that kind of transaction or project.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
kailangan discuss yun. Kasi mag-starting doubts.
Okay, what's the best way to get out? If you feel that there's already tainted, the relationship is getting tainted, or it's already tainted, the trust is already broken, or there's already trust issue, like, starting to build up.
Okay. Depends on how kasi reality, yung tao usually, may tendency to just cut it off. But
I love what he said. Did you hear that?
Yeah, tendency.
There is a tendency for people, when things get sour, when things get uncomfortable, when things are not well, there's a tendency to just cut it off. That's the default. Okay.
Pero dapat talaga,
Ano po yung dapat?
yung mga wiser and can manage emotions, mostly dapat kausapin nila yung tao, then get the perspective kung nasaan talaga, kung saan ang galing. Kasi mamaya miscommunication and
I love it.
miscommunication.
Yeah, I love it.
Yun yung dapat gawin. Pero yung nangyayari, mahirap kasi may emotions. But that's how it should be done.
I got a wisdom on that. Can we give a hand? That's well said. See, I told you, Mil can be very dominant and it's great. It's great. He put that in words. Okay, nakabawi ka na sa akin, sir. Okay, so he owes me one kanina. So now, medyo pantay na kami. So, but I like what he said. Okay, there's an emotion coming in there, and because there's an emotion that is part of the conversation now, okay, it's easy for you to just cut it off and boom, tapos na. But he said that the next part here is not only emotion. I like what he said. Mature and wiser. Yeah. I think that's the missing. Maganda yung sinabi niya eh. Di ba? O pang men, di ba? Pang men eh, hindi pang boy. Oo, hindi daw boy. Sabi ni MCH, okay? So, you're a man, come on. Mature, di ba? He said mature and wiser. Yeah. So, it means that we cannot emotions happens, but if you're mature and you're wiser, you'll be able to cut the conversation in a way that's both healthy to both parties. I think, yeah, I agree on that. Another male in the house?
The celebrity.
Well, sometimes somebody can be mature but not wise.
That's why a perfect combination, he said mature and wiser. Yeah. Maganda yung sinabi niya, no? You got to have that enough dose of wisdom, yeah, to make it happen. Yeah. Okay. Master Coach? Hintayin natin si Master Coach. Pwede ba to eh? Ay. So, dami ng kinoment natin.
Maturity boy.
Yeah. When is, yeah.
Ayan, nasulat ko po yun dito.
Yes, I wanna hear
It is
you.
wrong when you are using it against the will of God.
Can you repeat that, Master? Ang tapang nung sinabi niya. It is wrong to monetize your skills, your talent, if you are using it against the will of God. Kailan po, ano po yung ibig sabihin? Baba natin, Master, no? Sabi na napaka-Kristyano to. She's a pastor's wife, by the way, kaya po siya ganon. Oo.
Para na-influence ako sa'yo, Master.
Diba? Then, nakuha din natin yung sa kay Rebes, asawa niya eh. Si Reb din po yung may kasalanan nun, Master. Kailan po siya against the will of God? Master, baba po natin. Paano yung, di ako napupunta ng church, hindi ko alam yung mga will na yan. Ano po yan?
First, you will feel it naman eh, because all
Yun yung sinasabi nyo kanina, you can feel it.
we all have a conscience.
We have a conscience, okay?
So that's
Okay.
one thing. So,
Okay. So naniniwala po kayong nare-receive talaga ng tao kahit wala siyang hallelujah, praise God, hallelujah, walang ganon. Okay, marireceive ko. Okay, sige po. Tapos,
And second
Number two.
is definitely if you read the word of God. So nandun din.
paano nga po kung hindi ako nagbabasa?
Ayun nga, balik ka ulit sa conscience.
Okay. So, kung nagbabasa po kayo, point number 2 na po yon. Kung medyo nag-level up ka na. Pero kung hindi daw po, balik kayo sa conscience. Sabi po niya yan. Okay, number 3.
Pangatlo is, dito papasok yung mga godly counsel.
Ayun na, yung godly counsel. Okay. Explain po natin yung godly counsel. Master, paano po kung lahat ng nakapaligid sa'yo? Oo. Ano masasama? Hindi po.
Ay, hindi godly!
Hindi godly.
Ay, hindi godly!
You know what? This is coaching for the soul. And if you're thinking, bakit bakit ganyan yung conversation? That's exactly what I want to put in the table. You know what? Being open, being transparent, being vulnerable doesn't make you bad person. In fact, what makes it bad thing, if you keep it to yourself, let it boil, you isolate and let your brain, your mind, your thoughts to be corrupted. Because the moment it gets corrupted, the enemy can come in and steal the joy and steal the truth from you. That's what makes it wrong. Okay? This is a very unconventional conversations, but I want to put this on the table every Thursday, and I've been doing this for the last years of my life simply because people needs a space to be free, to speak their mind without judgment, and that's what it means to provide safe space. That's who we are. Going back to you, Master Coach.
Going back to, para madali kasing tanda now, I will limit it to 3. So, paano yung kung wala yung godly counsel?
Yes po. Hindi, actually, Master, yung concern ko po dun sa, hindi naman concern, but what happens normally is godly counsel, no? Pero ikaw din kasi yung pumili niyan. And often, yung pinili mo, puro katulad mong mag-isip. So they probably say yes to you. What would happen? Yun na yun.
Yun, babalik ka sa number 1.
Ay, babalik ka sa number
babalik ka sa
one.
number 1, and that's where life coaching
Works.
Kasi ipapalabas niya talaga yung what is really inside of you. So if gusto mong malaman kung tama yung
Ginagawa mo.
yung ginagawa mo,
Conscience. Okay.
you want to know about it, ipalabas mo talaga siya. I think that is something that God gave each one of us.
Okay.
So, pero
Okay.
yun nga eh, may free will po eh. So, mamimili ka pa din kung
Okay.
susundin mo yung consciously or hindi. Pero, in cases that, yun nga, wala dati counsel, lahat naman nag-a-approve agree sa akin. So, pupunta ka din doon sa conscience na yun. And if you are still in doubt, go to the coffee public every day at 2 p.m. At 2 p.m. until midnight.
Coach, isn't there like for example, a person
Yes po.
who does not go to church,
Yeah.
who does not believe in
Anything. Yeah.
Isn't there okay, we go down now to quotient.
To quotient. That's why conscience. That's why she said number 1 is
Go down now to
conscience.
quotient. Is there a switch in a person to define what is right and what is wrong?
I would say, Coach Gay, that we were created, to me, okay, to be really good people. We were created in the
That's
image
our
of,
original design.
the original design of man and women is, we're good. We're naturally good. Yeah. And that's embedded to us to do good. And I had an experience of really speaking, conversing with, people from the maximum security. And I strongly believe that kahit napaka-notorious po ng tao, there's really goodness. Meron eh. So therefore, I would say, okay, well, of course, there's theology on that, but that's not my conversation here. But if you want to talk to me about that, then I can have a conversation. But this one is a coaching conversation. And what we wanted to do is, like your question, Coach, can that conscience be enough for you to know what is right and wrong, Master Coach Jasmine? I think I wanna dive into that. Diba? Tama, wala talaga. Actually, ako din, Coach G, ang sasabihin ko po dyan. I've met a lot of people na they will say, I don't believe in God. Or, walang God. Okay? And there's a lot of terms to that. But here's what I would like to say. You have a belief of God. Magkakaiba lang tayo ng belief of God. There's always meron yan.
The term is not just God.
You do have, yeah. Yeah. Maybe your term is different, maybe the way you're calling, but you have a concept of God, and there is something that you believe about God. And that belief that you have about God could be tarnished. When I say tarnished, okay, I'm not saying it's right and wrong, but I'm saying that's not the original thought. That's not the original design or the original form of it. And because of our interpretations, because how the mind works, okay, and 95% of the mind is unconscious. So our past experiences could be tainted with that. And so that's the way we are responding, even if we say we're consciously making the decision. So I think conscience is a good start. I think we know if one thing is right and wrong or wrong.
Yeah, and to validate it, you need something. So kung babalik ulit tayo sa original design, that's why, di ba, isa lang naman yung tao noon, but God sent another.
So hindi siya pwedeng isolation.
Hindi
I
siya
think
pwedeng
that's what you're saying.
Yes po. And then, kung ididikit ko po siya sa life coaching, ang good thing kasi noon, it has science. So if you're not comfortable with godly counsel, so merong science base,
Yeah, yeah.
which is
Yeah.
life coaching.
Yeah. I think there's an opportunity for us to look into things in areas and domain that we are comfortable. Like for example, if you are comfortable about science, then the things that we do, the process that we do, the process that we can take a look at what's the scientific basis of that. And what are the numbers on that? There is, by the way. Yes, there is. Okay. So, I've been telling people when they ask me what is life coaching, I would say life coaching, if you want me to define it for you, it's always fivefolds. It's always fivefolds to me. Okay? The first is, it's an art. It's an art. You can be very creative in how you do coaching. You've been doing coaching. Okay? If I read your books, if I read your comics, you've been doing that, And well, it could be like one way, but truth of the matter, when the people respond to you, that's coaching. You're able to send questions to us, and we got to start thinking. And we start evaluating how's life in us. That's coaching. That's a creative works. Okay? Maybe you're not intentionally about it, but you started doing it. Life coaching is a science. And the processes that we do, the systems that we create, there is science in it. And how do you know it's science? Because if you go through the real process, you'll land into the same result. There's like an element of preciseness. It's precisely, you'll end in that. Yeah, there's science in that. There are different models. By the way, I've started writing about models. I've started writing about algorithm. But really, if you want to understand the mental models and how we perceive things and how the brain works, I have this community. I have this this Be Learning Society, and every single month, okay, on the fourth Saturday of the month, I teach about mental models. There are over 650 original mental models, but right now they have evolved to thousands. I think the latest count was about 8,000 mental models. And imagine if you could just understand how the brain works. How do we see things? How do we calculate things? And then we will start to see where the logic, the algorithm, and the science of what we do falls into place. Psychology is science, by the way. Yeah, psychology is science, right? Psychiatry science. Okay, life coaching is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle. So you become a coach, you'll always be a coach. There's always a part of you that have been changed. Sometimes you cannot explain that, but there's something in you. If you are a life coach right now, you've been going through trainings, you've been going through, you've been through certification program, or you've been coached, you will know that coaching is a lifestyle. It becomes you. And as a lifestyle, it is self-correcting. So if you get coached in one area of your life, it continues to change you in other areas of your life. It's not comfortable, it's not easy because all change are difficult. Much more, life coaching is transformational. Okay, so I would like to illustrate it using the cocoon. The caterpillar in the cocoon, and you have to die, the caterpillar have to die in there for the butterfly to rise up. There's no resurrections without death. And I would say the butterfly came out because the caterpillar died. So that's a transformation process, and oftentimes it's difficult. Life coaching is a profession, and because it is a profession, we do it professionally. So we treat our clients professionally, we treat ourselves professionally, and we do the process professionally. And when I say professionally, I don't know what's your definition of professionalism, but to me, when you do professionalism, when you do things professionally, there's an element of respect. You respect the client, you respect yourself, you respect the environment, you respect the process, you respect the result. That's professionalism to me. And finally, life coaching is a business. You can earn, you can monetize, and you can provide works for the people out of the life coaching platform. That's life coaching. Now, that's just what I do. That's just one area. There's other things that I do, and maybe you too. But that all because you and I are talented people. Agree? There's talent into it. And I want to leave you with a conversation in your mind tonight. The question of why do you question what you do? Why do you question yourself? Why do you question the things that you're able to do for other people? Why do you question your motive when other people start questioning you? Let me repeat that. Why do you start questioning yourself? Why do you start questioning your ability, your emotions, your motives, the greatness that you're doing to the world when people start questioning you? Because that's what happened to a lot of tent makers. Tent makers go out in the world, serve, do things out of their talents, out of their passion, out of their portion. But oftentimes, this is not what the traditional, or I would say, the world standard is provided. And a lot of times, you are being questioned. So I'm not talking to the tent makers. If you are a tent maker and you feel judged and you suffer inside, you feel lost and you feel like, I'm just doing my calling, my purpose, my portions. Why am I treated differently? Why do I feel judged? Or why am I being questioned? Hear me out on this. The only entity and the only being who can question you is God. Because only before God should you be accountable. I'm sure you'll be needing help. I'm sure you'll be needing a lift. I'm sure you'll be needing people to, provide some sanity in there, some concepts in there, some thoughts in there. And if you're not reading the Bible, I would say the Word of God is the ultimate authority. But if you're not yet there, answering Coach Gay's question, if you're not there, there's a space like us. There are people like us. There's a community like us. There's a place where you can be coming in without judgment, going out without demands. I invite you to be part of what we're doing here at Life Coach Philippines, at DCAP Coffee Republic, and to feel how it is to be accepted in a space where you're not judged, but you're not also tolerated. We believe in a life that's better than where you are today because you are created for more. And what is more? God's design for you. Whether you believe in God or not, believe that you have been set for a journey to fulfill a purpose. If you don't know your purpose, your calling right now, see us. Give us a call. Give us an opportunity to help you and to give you a lift. We're here. We're real people, by the way. Real. Okay, so real people. And if you're joining me tonight live, you're watching this on a replay, please give yourself a hug. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining us. I look forward to seeing you next Thursday here at Tika of Coffee Republic for another episode of Coaching for the Soul. Good night, everyone. Mwah.